Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for this important launch of our Nurturing Bright Futures initiative. We're super excited to be here today. It's over 12 months ago that my colleague, Eleanor Donoghue, who was then manager of the Graduate Attributes Programme, met with many colleagues in UCC and externally to brainstorm what this new initiative, Nurturing Bright Futures, might become. And here we are, 1 year later, to launch the event, and super excited to tell you all about it. We're delighted to have so many of you here with us today. We have representation from people all over the world, including some guidance counsellors locally and those from the National Executive of Guidance Counsellors. We have international high school counsellors and school principals. We have employers, representatives from Ibec, and representatives from our own UCC staff and governing body. We also have representation from the IUA and from many other organisations in Ireland and globally. Thanks especially to the industry partners who are joining us from a previous event, which has just been held just a few moments ago. I will invite now in a moment Professor John O'Halloran, our interim president, to launch the initiative and to welcome you all. But just before I do that, I'm going to just tell you a very small bit about the Graduate Attributes Programme and the Nurturing Bright Futures initiative. So back in 2018, Professor John O'Halloran and I worked on the academic strategy for UCC, and priority 4 of that academic strategy is to develop a Graduate Attributes Programme. Within that Graduate Attributes Programme, one of the initiatives is to support students transitioning into UCC. This Nurturing Bright Futures programme is a key part of that. It's rolled out for students who are considering their higher education options, and in fact, it's applicable to all applicants that might be considering any higher education institution. It was developed in consultation with 20 internal offices here in UCC and several external collaborators. It was devised with all pre-entry cohorts in mind and will help those students or applicants to higher education to choose their subject choices and potential career paths, so particularly helping them to choose what degree choice they might like to pursue. It also includes modules on transitioning into higher education, the realities of university life, and the graduate attributes and values that we will help and support students of UCC to develop in their journey with us. So without further ado, I'm going to invite now Interim President, Professor John O'Halloran, to formally open this occasion.
Thank you very much, Jennifer, and good afternoon, everybody, and a huge and warm welcome to University College Cork, wherever you are in the world. I wish you were here. I'm looking out onto the campus. There are some people, not many. Normally we would have 22,000 people on the campus, but today I can see 6-7 people, but nonetheless, huge welcome. Dr. Jennifer Murphy has been critical to the leadership of this project. She's been very generous in support, saying about others, but Jennifer and I, when we worked in the academic strategy, Jennifer really did an amazing project on this graduate attributes, amongst other elements of it, together with Carl, and we'll see later, Carl Veiga, and also with Eleanor Donoghue. So it's my privilege this afternoon to welcome you to this really, really important event, because you know, we live really in uncertain times that are both socially, politically, and economically and climatically very different from what we've ever had before. And I guess the last year has taught us anything is how unpredictable the world has become. And people talk about the word VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous. And by goodness, it has been ambiguous, it has been complex, it has been uncertain. And that's why this program is really important. We believe that this program, Nurturing Bright Futures, is a tool that will help students better navigate and negotiate these unpredictable times, and also, more importantly, will empower them to take control and make the right choices for them. And what we've discovered at University College Cork is that actually this is really important for retention. The retention rates at UCC are 94% from first year into second year. I put that down to fantastic students making the best choices, and our fantastic staff and supporting them here. And this program is another part of how we're going to support the transition into university and beyond. So Nurturing Bright Futures is a signature transition project in our UCC Graduate Attributes Programme. It's what makes us stand out and has developed over the course of the last 15 months, as Jennifer has said, in collaboration with a whole range of people across our institution, professional services, staff in UCC, academic staff, but more importantly, to you, our guidance counsellors and students that are here today. And I want to give a big shout out to each and every one of you. If anything, we've seen over the last year how important your role is. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for supporting us, supporting our students, and supporting their families in these really tough decision time that people are taking and making every day. The Graduate Attributes Programme, which of course students always abbreviate into GAP, is a very generous supported by the HEA Innovation and Transformation Programme in 2018. And we couldn't have done this without the support of the Higher Education Authority, and followed through then on the Tomer Trust, who gave us an equal and almost matching support as the HEA did. And we gratefully acknowledge you for this support, for believing in us and believing in this project and enabling the development of a much needed, sustainable and scalable project called Nurturing Bright Futures Programme. And as Jennifer said, this is not just for UCC students, this is for all higher education and further education students. UCC's strategic plan, like every plan across the world, probably was thrown up in the air earlier last year, and at University College Cork, no different than anywhere else, we actually re-examined our plan and we said, what are the real important priorities that for us for the coming 2 years? And we used that famous word, pivoted our plan, and now we have what's called UCC 2022. For the next 2 years, we're going to deliver on a connected university, where we're connecting the elements of the institution, we're connecting with our alumni, connecting with employers, connecting with our schools, connecting with all the people that matter to us, like guidance counsellors and each and every one of you, to enable us to have the best educational ecosystem that's possible today. And part of this, we've divided into pillars, and even though they are interconnected, pillar one, as you might expect, is learning and teaching. And people have often asked me, why is it learning and teaching? And the answer is, it's because you can have learning without teaching in the university. Students will pursue their own knowledge, they will learn in the same way, and perhaps sometimes better independently. Not all, but at the same time, pillar one is about learning and teaching. And the idea is that is concerned with a personalized education for every student and making their learning experience unique, individualized, and connected. And the Nurturing Bright Futures program that we're launching here today very much shares that ethos of personalizing every student's journey and starting where the student is at. So it's not some sort of remote piece where we're starting from. We're starting at the moment where it matters to the students, where he or she can recognize. We fully recognize at University College Cork that each individual learning experience is unique and different. My own discipline is ecology, and the central axiom is diversity begets stability. The greater diversity, the greater community we have, and the greater type of learners that we want in this institution. And that the students are the navigators of their own learning journey. We appreciate that the more students can own their own journey, the more likely they are to reach their destination. And also actually along that journey to enjoy if I dare say, the scenery, but actually also the engagement across the entire institution. Under pillar one of UCC 2022, the actions of the academic strategy, and Jennifer has mentioned that, and she's core to developing that, will be accelerated. And what we've discovered over the last year, particularly during COVID, is the academic strategy was a North Star for help us to guide our curriculum, to guide our pedagogy, but also to guide our assessment. And it's been a remarkable success. The overarching objectives of our Graduate Attributes Programme, which is nested within the strategy, is to enable a successful student journey. And the idea here is that we prepare students to successfully navigate and negotiate each transition point. I think if we're honest, for all of us, it's those transition boundaries that often make life very difficult for us and challenging. Challenging good, but also challenging sometimes that's not so good. So the program is kind of divided into three elements of the Graduate Attributes Program, called Transitioning In, where initiatives are guiding students into the right program of study for them. So the student decides what's best for them, while simultaneously widening access for underrepresented groups and improving first-year retention rates, which I've mentioned earlier. Getting the opportunity for the student to be on the best program is the best predictor of success. Once students are in, then, of course, there's the transition through the university. And these initiatives are providing targeted support, delivering skills and training, and developing graduate attributes that go beyond the disciplinary content, knowledge, and can be applied to a world and wide context. And then transition out, and we've just come from a really important employer meeting a few moments ago, is the transition out initiatives are preparing final year students to transition into and excel in the professional environment, and to be active contributors and agents for positive change in society. And what we do at UCC, we talk about lifelong learning and life-wide learning, those dimensions that enable us to support our students when they're transitioning in, transitioning through, and transitioning into the world to become global citizens. We're really pleased that the mission of the department, the new Department of Further and Higher Education, Research, Innovation and Strategy and Science recently published their strategy 2021 to 2023 to develop Ireland's further and higher education and research system to support people in reaching their full potential and to create value, prosperity, resilience, and a cohesive, sustainable, and vibrant society. And here at University College Cork, our projects and our plans are very much aligned to that mission. We educate students to be creators and communicators of knowledge rather than just consumers of knowledge. Fake news, knowing the truth, is becoming core to democracy. We want our students to be independent and creative thinkers, to be digitally fluent, socially responsible, impactful global citizens who recognize and challenge inequality. It's a lot to ask, but we will demand a lot of our students to make them better citizens. No surprise, I guess, also that we're aligning closely with the UN Sustainable Development Goals as a key driver of University College Cork Connected Curriculum. So our Connected University programme has an overarching programme that connects across all of the strands, from Connected Alumni to Connected Curriculum to indeed our Graduate Attributes programme. And this to equip students with the knowledge and skills, competence and attitude that will enable them to contribute to a more equitable society, a stronger economy and a cleaner environment. We've also articulated our commitment as a community to strengthen our students' core values, including respect, ambition, compassion, and something we've all been tested recently on, resilience and integrity. These are the core values of which we want to see articulated by our students, but also in the curriculum and beyond the curriculum. So Nurturing Bright Futures, the programme we're launching today, shares the vision and goals outlined in the department strategy, government department, and in particular in developing talent and skills, which will prioritise opening up diverse and progressive pathways for everyone, enabling personal growth, developing our learners' talents, promoting lifelong learning, and empowering learners to become active members of society, engaging in employment, contributing to prosperity, and driving a vibrant and diverse community. We hope that Nurturing Bright Futures will enable or will be really useful to the relevant resources for our students, for our guidance counsellors, for teachers, for parents and guardians. Pillar 3 of our academic strategy is also about enabling student success, understanding and addressing the needs of all our students, aligning our support for diverse student body with the changing needs of our students, because they're changing all of the time, probably perhaps now more than ever, and also our staff to design student learning and experience of the future. I'm delighted to be, and a privilege for me to launch Nurturing Bright Futures today, as this programme exemplifies University College Cork's community commitment to enabling student success. We are joined today by 3 wonderful transition year students, Finn, Ruth and Oisín, who've already completed the Nurturing Bright Futures programme and who have very kindly fed back to us their insights, their suggestions in how to enhance this learning. And this is the spirit of learning at University College Cork. It's the spirit of co-creation, a philosophy that we hold very, very, very dear to us. And we very much encourage each and every one of you who engage in this programme to come back to us with any suggestions, criticisms, or ways that we can make this better, to enhance our collaboration and our creativity, so that we together can optimise the transition to life and learning at higher education levels and nurture bright futures of our future third level students and learners. That the workforces today will shape the world of tomorrow and engage our students in a meaningful way to change the world and make it a better place. Congratulations to all involved. I want to particularly thank Jennifer herself for her leadership, for Carl Veiga, for Jennifer, as I said, and for Eleanor Donoghue, and particularly some of our industry partners. And I want to maybe particularly, if I may, single out Ibec for all your support, continued support of higher education, and in particular University College of Cork. Corgordagus, it's a fantastic day, thrilled to be here, and I'm looking forward to getting all your feedback, and in particular to hearing Finn, Ruth and Oisín. Thank you so much, and I wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John, for your inspiring words as always. I know everybody now is very anxious to see the actual demonstration of this initiative, and we'll look forward to that in a few moments from our interim manager, Veiga. But before we do so, we're really honoured and privileged to welcome our guest speakers. And first we'll have Beatrice Dooley, and she'll be followed by Claire McGee. So I'm going to start by introducing Beatrice Dooley. And Beatrice, we're so glad that you're able to join us this afternoon. Beatrice is the president of the Institute of Guidance Counsellors, which is the professional body for guidance counsellors in Ireland. A range of guidance counsellors, we're very grateful to all of them that closely collaborated with the UCC team in developing and in piloting the Nurturing Bright Futures course. Your professional inputs have really influenced and informed this initiative. You will continue to be a key stakeholder for us as we roll out the programme today, but also in how we evolve it, in how we get your feedback and feedback from your students, and how we will change and develop it in the years ahead. Beatrice, you are very welcome to this launch, and we're delighted that you're able to join us and to give us some of your insights on the relevance of this Nurturing Bright Futures tool to guidance counsellors and to their students.
Thank you, Dr. Murphy. It is a great privilege to be here today to represent the Institute of Guidance Counsellors at the virtual launch of the Nurturing Bright Futures exciting new pre-entry programme at UCC. This self-reflective, self-directed course will give students the opportunity and structured space to understand more about themselves, higher education and UCC. This resource will empower students to think independently, to communicate effectively, and to develop continuously. The 6 modules include decision-making styles, transitioning to higher level education, exploring attributes and values. Continuous development, or lifelong learning, is in the DNA of guidance counsellors. We work with students from the age of 12 to adults up to retirement stage and beyond. We recognise that all learning has a value, that knowledge empowers us. We understand that our experience of that learning shapes who we become and what we are capable of. As individuals, our identity is intrinsically linked with our careers. Most career development and career choice theories include as key components learning about careers and occupations and learning about oneself. Mark Savicka's current life design theory focuses on how we construct our own career and also our identity. He explains that we should not become fixated on finding out who we are at one point and then finding our perfect job match, because we change over time. Therefore, how we construct a career is about self-creation and not self-actualization. UCC get this and facilitate this process of self-creation by offering the pre-entry course, which serves as a bridge between the worlds of school, college and work for their students. The Nurturing Bright Futures programme offers students the headspace to develop self-awareness about their learning styles, to reflect on how their personality type and interests will shape the type of work they will ultimately gravitate towards. The IGC publication, Guidance Counselling, Core Competencies and Professional Practice, echoes the Nurturing Bright Futures programme, where it states, it is clear that the vocational development is linked to identity formation. The picture we have of ourselves, or the self-concept, plays a major role in career choice and changes with time and experience, making choice and adjustment a continuous process. I am always very aware of this when I meet with a student, for at that moment, neither of us fully know what that student is capable of. It is so important to heighten their self-awareness around their unique skill set, aptitudes, abilities, academic record, interests and personality, and to encourage them to aim high, to take risks, to risk failure, recognizing that failure is our greatest teacher, and to pursue their dreams. To quote Lou Holtz, I think everyone should experience defeat at least once during their career. You learn a lot from it. Carl Dweck's research throws up some interesting behaviour in the face of setbacks from students who consider that their intelligence is fixed and those who subscribe to a growth mindset. The former interprets failure as a direct reflection on their intelligence level and responds with helpless behaviour. The latter engage in mastery-type behaviour. Bandura and Cervone discovered that individuals experiencing self-efficacy were more resilient and more likely to sustain effort when faced with challenges. It is fantastic to see the growth mindset incorporated into this worthwhile UCC programme, which will foster resilience in our third level students. The Ireland Skills Live event that took place in March 2019 was a comprehensive exhibition of apprentices welding, drilling, sawing, deeply engaged in their craft to the extent they seemed oblivious to the thousands of observers swarming around them. They were in flow. It is a thing of beauty to observe someone lose themselves in their work to that extent, and a good indication that they are doing what they should be doing. To quote John Dewey, to find out what one is fitted to do and to secure an opportunity to do it is the key to happiness. In conclusion, I wish all of the UCC students, past, present and future, that happiness.
Thank you so much, Beatrice. We really appreciate you being with us this afternoon, and thank you so much for your insights. It's now my great pleasure and honour to introduce Claire McGee. Claire is the Head of Education and Innovation at Ibec, the Irish Business and Employers Confederation in Ireland. It's Ireland's largest lobby and business representative group. Claire has been with Ibec since 2007, and she has a really important role there, working closely with Irish industry, with government and education stakeholders to increase investment in our education system, badly needed investment in our education system, and enhancing the talent pipeline, boosting Ireland's capacity for innovation. We're hugely proud that Claire is a graduate of UCC, and she has been really kind to us in advising us on our academic strategy and particularly on our Graduate Attributes programme since it was established in 2019. Thank you so much, Claire, for joining us today, and we really look forward to hearing your thoughts on our Nurturing Bright Futures programme.
Thank you very much, Jennifer, and I'm delighted to be able to join you this afternoon. I want to congratulate UCC on the launch of Nurturing Bright Futures. This unique and dynamic online programme to support learners and students to make the most of their learning, have a fulfilling social life and time at college. The world is disrupting at such a fast pace, and that pace will only get faster. Think back over the last 15 years to the major innovations that have been introduced. Artificial intelligence, cloud computing, smart communication technology, to name just a small number, but have had a major impact on how we live, how we work, and how we interact and engage with each other. Who knows what the next 15 years will bring? As a result, it's going to be much harder to predict with high degrees of certainty what the jobs or the workplace of the future will look like. To me, this is very exciting, but it also tells me that change is constant and that we all need to be able to adapt and become more comfortable with change. And with careers now lasting close to 50 years, we will all probably make multiple career changes and transitions throughout that time, requiring new skills, new expertise, and developing new social networks. To be able to stay one step ahead and feel empowered and control of the choices and changes, we all need support. Nurturing Bright Futures is a fantastic support programme to help students hit the ground running as they make the first big transition of their lives from school to the world of college, university and further study, to really set themselves up to consider careers that suit their interests and their skills. I really like that this programme prepares students to become reflective learners, to build an experience and to see that learning doesn't just happen in a classroom or a lecture hall, but all throughout college. Nurturing Bright Futures helps set people up to see the value in learning and develop a personal learning journey. From a business perspective, it is critical for Ireland's future that we all continue to learn to invest in our personal and professional development, to be able to take advantage of the new innovations that are coming through. This fantastic programme helps students not just become lifelong, but also life-wide learners. I encourage students, parents, teachers and career guidance professionals to engage in this programme and to see what is on offer at college and all the potential and fun that awaits. I want to wish UCC and the team who developed and rolled out the programme every success with it. And more importantly, I want to wish the wider UCC community, students and schools, all the very best in your next step in your journey. Use this programme to your advantage.
Thank you so much, Claire. We're hugely appreciative of your support and your ongoing advice in relation to our Graduate Attributes programme, and particularly today for our Nurturing Bright Futures programme. So now comes the moment that we've all been waiting for, and we're very much looking forward to the demonstration on the actual programme, the Nurturing Bright Futures programme, and our interim manager of the Graduate Attributes programme, Veiga, is going to take us through now the various modules, how to navigate the programme, how to access it, etc. So thank you so much, Carl. We're looking forward very much now to see this demonstration.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for joining us here today. So for the next few minutes, I'll be doing a very short demo on Nurturing Bright Futures. I'll be showing you how to access the programme, how to navigate it, and how to get the most out of the tool. So bear with me for one moment while I share my screen. So this is the Nurturing Bright Futures website, and from here you can simply click on this little yellow button, Start Programme here, and that will bring you straight through to the Nurturing Bright Futures programme. So first of all, just to bring your attention to the logo that we've designed for Nurturing Bright Futures. So you can see it's a light bulb, and inside you have a tiny acorn and a mighty oak tree. So this image and this symbol holds a very special place in our hearts at UCC. The idea of a tiny acorn developing into a mighty oak symbolises how we nurture our students' talents and how we help them reach their potential and begin, belong and become the people they want to be. And that very much sums up the ethos and the essence of the Nurturing Bright Futures programme. So what is Nurturing Bright Futures? So it's a 6-module course which has been designed to help pre-entry students gain skills, knowledge, insights and information to help them to prepare to transition into third level education. Who is it for? This programme is for all students who are considering transitioning into third level education. So whether that's through the CAO or through access routes such as HEAR, DARE and QQI, or as a mature student or international student, this programme has been designed to be relevant and resonate with all pre-entry cohorts. So for different learning styles, we have used different types of media, such as videos, articles, podcasts, interactive worksheets, reflective exercises, and infographic posters. This is also a resource for guidance counsellors and for teachers and parents and guardians to help students get the most out of this time and to help them prepare fully for the transition to third level learning and third level life. So in this programme, students will be introduced to the following topics. They will learn skills on how to pick a course that's right for them. They'll also explore different career choices and how those relate to various career options and career paths. They'll also engage with material that showcases different decision-making styles, and that will give them insights into how they like to make decisions. It will give them practical tips on how to prepare for transitioning to third level education, information on the realities of university life, and information on UCC's Graduate Attributes programme, which is about helping students navigate transitions through and transitions out of third level education, but also about helping students to develop and acquire transversal skills that they can develop at their time in university and beyond when they go into the world of work. So how can students take this course? So they can do it at school in a one-to-one session or a group session with their guidance counsellor or teacher. They can do it outside of school, so in their own time, on their own, or with parents, guardians, or with a friend. It takes roughly between 50 to 80 minutes to complete each of the modules, and that includes reading time, doing the activities, and reflecting on the activities. but it's very much a case of doing it at your own pace and taking as long as you need. And while the modules have been presented in a certain order, we are absolutely advocating that students can dip in and dip out and do the modules in whatever order suits them best. We would recommend that students would take one module per week, that they'd space them out so as to allow sufficient time for reflection on the topics. The course is not assessed, but there are short quizzes at the end of each of the modules, which are really just to consolidate the learnings and allow an opportunity for the students to check back in and make sure that they are sure of what they've covered in each of the modules. So as I said at the start, there are 6 modules. So picking a course that's right for you, degree choices and future careers, decision-making styles, transitioning to higher education, realities of university life, and graduate attributes and values. Co-creation is one of our key guiding principles in UCC. So this course has been developed with internal and external stakeholder groups, including students. Once you've had the chance to complete the programme, we'd be absolutely delighted if you could tell us how you found it and give us your suggestions, comments and feedback. We very much want this to be a programme that people find beneficial and find that they can engage with. So your feedback would absolutely be most welcome, and the questionnaire only takes about 5 minutes to do. If you have any questions during the event, you can post them into the chat, or you can email us at graduateattributes@ucc.ie. So to move to the next section, you simply click here, and to navigate to pages beyond the home page, you just click on the next button here, and that will bring you onto the next section. Also, if you want to get an overview of the modules and the subsections in each of the modules, you can simply click here on modules on the top left-hand corner, and that will give you a very handy overview of what the content is in each of the modules, particularly if you want to dip in, dip out, and do it in the order that works best for you. So finally, I just want to scroll down to the bottom and just say thank you very much for coming here today. There is an opportunity again here on this part to engage with the online questionnaire. And if UCC is one of the options that you're considering, click here and it will bring you into the undergrad prospectus and you can learn more about the options at UCC. There's also the opportunity to download a certificate of completion for the Nurturing Bright Futures course. And again, if you have any questions, please do feel free to reach out to us at graduateattributes@ucc.ie. Thank you very much. I hope you find this beneficial and enjoy it. And thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Carol. That was a really wonderful demonstration. And if any of you have some questions now, having seen the demonstration, having seen the tool that it is, you're very welcome to put those questions into the live chat function on the right-hand side of your screen. Or if you'd like to send it by email, you can send it to graduateattributes@ucc.ie and we'll answer you as soon as possible. So it's my great pleasure now to introduce Eimear Curtin, who will speak to us about her own experience and her journey transitioning into higher education. So Eimear is currently the Education Officer and Deputy President for the Students' Union in UCC. She graduated from UCC in 2020 with a joint first-class honours degree in Maths Studies and Irish. Congratulations, Eimear. Throughout her term in office, Eimear has been an exceptional advocate for improvements to educational facilities here at UCC. She has represented students on a number of committees and boards, and she has ensured that the student voice is heard at every table. She is also a candidate to be the next Vice President for Academic Affairs on the USI Executive. And Eimear, we do wish you every success with your candidacy in that. We're delighted that you're joining us for the launch of this important initiative today, Eimear. Over to you.
Thank you, Jennifer. It's a real honour to speak to everyone here this afternoon. Eimear Curtin is anam dom, tá gábhríon bheithe slánathe agam faoin drása, is as iarthailm ní mé ó thuúchais agus is céimí mé ó Coláiste na Hoscoil Churcaig le chócéim sa Ghaeilge agus sa mathematic. I am the current Education Officer and Deputy President of the Students' Union here in UCC. However, before I was an officer of the SU, before I was a graduate of UCC, before I was even a student here, I was a student of Trinity College Dublin. So how did I get here? Well, let's backtrack. In my leaving cert year, I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do with my life. I was interested in almost everything, and I wasn't particularly better at one subject over any other. For many reasons, I decided to go down the mathematics route. It's something I'm generally interested in, still am interested in. I'm relatively good at it, and it was something I knew I could get a job from. However, the actual career prospects just weren't for me, which is something I discovered 3 months into a degree in mathematics. So I summoned all my courage, I swallowed all my pride, and I dropped out. It was absolutely terrifying. I can't lie, it was not the most fun experience. However, I got over it. I got a full-time job to pay my parents back, and I learned a lot about full-time work and also about the privilege that is education. I decided to go back to third level education and to follow my interests. Plain and simple, nothing too fancy. I did maths and Irish. It's a weird combination, sure. It's not directly pointing me towards a specific career, definitely, but it was one step at a time, and it was what I want in the moment. There's a lot to be said for taking things one step at a time. Through Nurturing Bright Futures, you can learn about who you are and what your next step is, and then you'll find out how you can best help over time. Gurb míle maith.
Gurb míle maith go to Eimear. Tá mé dana bhródú lasad. Eimear is a fantastic asset to UCC. We're so delighted that you were able to share your own personal journey, Eimear. That's really important to us. And you're absolutely right. You know, there's so many students go through that same journey as yourself, having spent a lot of time thinking and considering what they might do in higher education, and then having arrived there, realizing, gosh, this is not the right journey for me, and having to start all over again. So we're really hopeful that this Nurturing Bright Futures programme will ensure that most students will pick the right course for them first time around. We're very, very proud of our own retention rate, as Professor O'Halloran outlined. 94% of our first years last year progressed into second year, and we're unique in that in UCC. We have the best retention rate in the sector in Ireland, and that's something we're hugely proud of. And this tool today is something we're so hugely proud of, and we really hope that it will help students transitioning into any higher education institution to make the right choice for them the first time around. So now we have 3 really important speakers, because the most important people here today are our students who will be taking this course. And we're very delighted to have 3 transition year students joining us that have completed the Nurturing Bright Futures programme and who are here today to share their thoughts and feedback with us. And we'll start with Ruth and Oisín. So Ruth O'Donoghue Patterson and Oisín Luanaigh, who are taking the transition year at Coláiste and Phiarsaigh in Glanmire. And Ruth and Oisín will be followed by Finn, who is a student from De La Salle College in Macroom. And I want to extend a special welcome and a thanks to you and to your parents for the time, for your generosity, for having completed this course when it was in pilot stage, and for having given us excellent feedback and suggestions on how we can enhance the programme. We've taken your feedback on board, and we will continue to take feedback on board. So as Carol said, we invite all of you here with us today, and all people who will take this programme to give us some feedback. We'll continue to co-create it and to evolve it so that it best meets your needs. So we look forward to hearing your thoughts, Ruth, Oisín and Finn, to hearing your insights on what you enjoyed most about the programme, what you learned, and what are your top tips to get the most out of this programme.
Hi, my name is Ruth O'Donoghue Patterson, and I'm a transition year student in Coláiste and Phiarsaigh in Glanmire. I really enjoyed doing the Nurturing Bright Futures programme, and for me the best bit was probably helping me think about the future choices I need to make. Also, I liked how it showed opening my mind to the best choices for my personality type and showing TY students the realities of college life and the transition year to college. The bit I enjoyed the most was probably the different styles of learning, for example the videos and podcasts and other resources. My favourite module was probably the first module, which was picking a course that's right for me. I really enjoyed doing that module because of the surveys that we had to do. They were really fun and interactive. I also liked the way they showed your strengths and weaknesses and finding out your personality and how this will help me choose my course. The most key thing I learned was probably the importance of proper decision making and planning and preparation. It really shows you to stop and think about this big decision in your life that you're about to take as a TY student. The part that resonated with me the most was probably the way the course talks about the importance of not being influenced negatively by your peers and parents, social media, etc., and to fully reflect on all the choices that you make before making this decision. My top tip to get the most out of Nurturing Bright Futures is to really reflect on the modules with other people, such as your family members and friends. This will really reinforce everything that you've learned. So in conclusion, I'm really happy that I was given the opportunity to do this programme, and it was really beneficial for me, and it will help me with my big decisions in the future. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Oisín Luanaigh and I'm a transition year student at Coláiste, Phiarsaigh, Glanmire. I really enjoyed doing the Nurturing Bright Futures course, and for me the best bit was the helpful information regarding the transition from secondary school to third level. During this course I learned a lot about myself, the type of student I am and the type of learner that I am. My key takeaway is that self-reflection is a very important aspect of decision making, especially when it comes to picking a third level course. My top tip to getting the most out of the Nurturing Bright Futures course is not to do it all in one sitting, but also to do all the exercises to the best of your ability. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Brady and I'm currently in transition year in De La Salle College, Macroom. What I enjoyed the most about Nurturing Bright Futures is really just how enjoyable it was to complete. I really had fun filling out the interactive worksheets and helpful posters and everything like that. You know, I had a lot of crack doing it and I never felt it was a bore or a chore or anything like that. I just really enjoyed my time doing it and I never thought it was too much effort or anything like that. I just enjoyed my time. I would say something that really resonated with me and something that really surprised me, I suppose, when I was taking the course was really just the helpful tips they gave us really in general, and also the attributes and skills they discussed about what industry you can enter and what course in college and everything that you can go on to do, and just really how much your career can benefit from knowing those certain skills that they gave us examples of and introduced us to in the course. I would say my key takeaway is to really just consider what you're good at and what you enjoy in life and what things you are the best at in school and everything like that. And when you're considering a course, just really focus on what you'll enjoy in life. And don't focus on the expectations of others or society or whatever thing like that. Just focus on what you enjoy in life. I suppose my top tip would be to really just go slow, immerse yourself within it, and to really just take your time to fully digest everything that's given to you. It's a great course and it'll be very helpful. So don't rush it or anything like that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ruth, Oisín and Finn. Your insights are truly valuable. We really appreciate you having been involved in the pilot of this course and support that you've given us and your parents and guidance counsellors. We really do appreciate all your inputs. A question has just come in here to the email address, and they're asking, do you have any plans to develop the programme in the future, and if so, how? So as Carl outlined, yeah, we do absolutely have plans to continue to evolve this programme. Carl used the expression about co-creation, and that really is the ethos of what we're doing here. We have experts in our guidance counsellors and in our students, in our applicants, and in our staff here at UCC, in our employers, and anybody really who has an interest in ensuring that students make the right choices for them in higher education and that their journey is most effective for them. Any of you who would like to give us feedback, we really and truly would very much welcome it, and we'd ask you to log in to our website, www.ucc.ie/nurturing bright futures, and just complete the feedback form there with your opinion and anything that you think that would make this resource more user-friendly, more usable, more useful. We will take that on board. So thank you so much for that question. There's one other question has come in here to me, which is, if you're doing this program at home, I think this has come from a parent, how much time should a parent spend with their child? Is there any guidance? So what we're suggesting here, and I think Carol made reference to this, and actually I think it was Finn who made reference to it there at the end as well, is that the tool really encourages participants to take it at their own pace. Not to do it all maybe in the one sitting, but to do a bit, to do the reflective feedback, and then maybe each module to leave a space a week at a time between them. So with respect to parents supporting students to complete this course, we absolutely think that in some families that will work well, in others maybe less so. So I think it all depends on your own context. But if you would like to guide your child or your young adult through this course, maybe that you would help them at the stage of the reflective exercises, we would suggest might be appropriate. We have a bespoke section in it for parents and guardians on the programme, and you can download a copy of the guide for parents and guardians on the website. So that will help you as well to navigate your way through it. So thank you so much, everybody. It just remains for me really to thank a few people who made today possible and who made this tool possible. Hundreds of people collaborated with us in the development of this tool and that got us here today. So I'm not going to name out everybody. I couldn't possibly name everybody who's involved, but I just want to thank really and truly our speakers today, our funders, the HEA Innovation and Transformation Fund. We could not have started this program without your financial support, without your trust. And then the generous support of the Tomar Trust that really helped us to launch this initiative with lots of more aspects to it than what we had originally envisaged. So without you both, we really wouldn't be here. But also to former manager of the Graduate Attributes Programme, Eleanor Donoghue, and to all the colleagues that worked with Eleanor and with Carl Veiga, our interim manager. I want to particularly call out Mary McCarthy, Kathy Bradley, Dr. Caroline Schroeder, Yasmin Radwin, Selena O'Regan, Maggie O'Sullivan and Siobhan Boyle, and also Lenka Forrest and Danielle Byrne. Your help and your support throughout this last 12 months in putting this programme together has been really significant. To the guidance counsellors, parents and students who piloted it, your support and your feedback has been truly influential in how this has evolved. So thank you all so much. We've recorded this launch today, so it will be available on YouTube. We will be sending it out on all of our channels. So please feel free to share and support the sharing of this tool throughout the sector for all that might benefit from same for all that might give us some feedback to make it even better. So thank you very much today. Also, I want to finally thank Michael Kennelly, who has supported us so expertly in getting the event online today. Any questions that you might have post-event, I'd ask you to email it to our dedicated email address, graduateattributes@ucc.ie. Thank you very much, everybody.